What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rambling Garage. We've got the car that started it all back in the garage here. Our 66 AMC Rambler Rebel. For those of you that don't know the car yet, since we're picking things back up a little bit, I'll give you a little walkthrough of what it is. But it was my grandpa's car when he passed, and I got it, and we've been working on it for the last really 10 years, I guess, on and off, things here and there. And I really want to start making some progress on it again. It's got some things that it needs attention on. So we're gonna do that. I started on the floors last fall, I think. I don't know. Last fall into the spring, and then I threw the car out in storage because I wanted to enjoy my other cars. And now fall's here again. Winter's here. The weather is quickly turning bad, and I got the car back in here. We're gonna get a little space heater, and we're gonna work on the floors all winter, along with the seats, and hopefully the top in the spring. So. Enough talking about it. Let's turn around and see what I'm doing and what we have going on, and tell you guys a little bit of what I hope to accomplish in this video. Alright, so if you haven't seen it before, this is the 327. We used to have the Holley EFI on it. Went back to a factory 450 CFM Holley 4-barrel. This car does have some head porting, intakes ported, the exhaust manifolds are ported since there are no header options. You can go custom, whatever, and there's a mild cam in it. But 450 CFM, a lot of people seem to think that's undercarbed for these. They throw the 600s on them. They don't really need that. 600s with a vacuum secondary is not going to hurt them, but 450 for a street application is more than enough. So the reason I went back to this is because with the Holley EFI, I did not have a good option for hooking up the TV cable there. So now we have that back, and it just looks right in there. Engine ran very well, and I put it away in the spring. Now it doesn't run very well at all. I don't know what happened. It does seem that I see the rear float is flooding over, so I adjusted that out some. I haven't run it since, but could also be because we have some vacuum lines that are unplugged and stuff, but those were plugged in the spring, so I don't know. But we'll figure it out. We'll get it running. That's not what we're doing in this video. When I got it here, the car was filthy. I wiped it down a bit. I used some ceramic kind of a spray wax type stuff, so it looks pretty decent now. But what I'm focusing on in this video is the holes that we cut last time around. So the floors in this thing are obviously not very good. There was a rat's nest up here in the, I'm trying to show you guys without making you dizzy, in the rockers. So we've cut out a lot of that. I need to recreate the rockers. I need to cut out that entire section yet and just make patch panels. So we'll be patching that. We'll patch the entire rockers, patching all these guys. And I'm not really going to be following like the bends and curves of the floors. I don't really care about that. We'll make it look really how it should, and I'll add some rigidity to that. That's pretty thin. Got some metal up here. I have these all measured out, accounting for the width of the blade here. I found this on eBay for like 30 bucks. I think they're like 50 or 60 at Harbor Freight. So doing it cheap, and yeah, hopefully it all works out well. So this stuff is a little thicker than what we have in the car, but I'm thinking we can make it work. I'm not against making things a little more rigid than they were. But so over here we have these guys. Actually, what do we have? These guys and this guy are going to be the patch panels that I use in here, and then we'll cover it all up. We have one big piece that I need to make there. Again, cover it all up. I do need to add some sort of support for this underneath once we finish in the rocker area. I have some angle iron that I think I'm going to be able to use for that, but all in all, it's not going to look perfect. I'm not trying to recreate it to a factory spec. I'm trying to make it solid, and I'm trying to make it so it won't get worse. So some of you guys that are fab guys out there are probably going to laugh at what I'm doing, but that's fine. Go do your fab stuff. I don't care. But yeah, so we're going to start with getting these all these cut out. We're going to tack them in and get them all coated with some rust reformer, get everything sealed up, and hopefully we have a solid floor here soon. Once we do that, we're going to POR it, and then maybe seam seal first, then POR, and then I have some sound deadening stuff from Amazon that I'm on the fence of using, but I'll probably end up using it. So that's enough of that. I want to try this guy out. I haven't used it yet. I have no idea how it's going to work, if it's going to work, if that blade's dull, It looks kind of fine to me. It had wood shavings on it previously, so I kind of think they used it on wood, which could dull it down, but I have a feeling it's going to work fine. So I think what we're going to start with is cutting out some of this stuff, see how it works, and get to patching. All right, so fast forward a bit. I use this. I'm going to show you guys how it works. It's freaking awesome if you haven't used it before. It's so much better than trying to use an angle grinder. But I got my pieces all cut out for the most part. So these are actually going to go in from the bottom side, I think. But those are all in place. I'm on the fence. When I put them in from the bottom side, they give us a little more room for the top piece to work. So that's kind of why I was wanting to do that. But we'll see. I got that top piece. Again, I'm waiting for the rocker reconstruction to make that piece. Tacked this in a little bit real quick, burnt through a little bit. My mask, I think the batteries are dead in it, so I was just blinding the hell out of myself. But since I tacked it in, I can get it to form a little bit. We'll figure out what's going on with the batteries so I can actually see what I'm doing, and we'll get that put into place. On the other side, walk around here. Boop, boop. Over here, I got a piece down in there, so that's going to be the one. Ooh, yep. Let's see if I can get it the hard way. So that's going to be the one that sits on the bottom side and just cleans this up. Again, maybe the top side? I don't know. We'll see. So that one I did from the bottom side. It's ugly, but it's solid. So we get that taken care of, and then I got to cut out the piece again for the over the top. I still got to cut the piece for up in there, so we'll do that. But there it is. So we got some pieces that makes cutting out the pieces a lot easier. I do have some extra scrap over here. I'll use this guy. It's a mess in my garage, you can tell. So some more scrap here. I got the big piece up there. I think I'm going to need one more big piece, but we'll be able to use that for a good bit of the rockers and the piece that covers the crossbar on the other side. So have some pieces out. I'm going to start welding, but I need to get a new mask, and then I will start welding so that you guys can see what I'm doing and you guys can watch all my fails while they happen. So there we go. It'll look okay. Once this is done, I'm going to go on the bottom and kind of hammer these ribs up so that it is a little more flush. And then we're going to use seam sealer on the top and the bottom. So even if there are little inconsistencies, it won't matter. So we're going to do that all the way around. I don't want the water getting in here because I didn't make those seams or those bumps or whatever, the grooves. So we'll do our best to avoid that. So once that's in, that's going to make this back part. You can just see how that's moving towards the left. It'll make that more solid, and then we'll get the rockers all pieced in. The rockers are going to be a pain just because they're so bad. I don't know if I've shown you them completely. So let's see if I can show you. They're pretty nasty, so most of that's going to get cut out yet. And then a lot of that is just surface. It's all pretty solid stuff. So just need to clean it up and make a weldable surface and clean out some of the excess metal that's in there so we don't have rusting issues moving forward. We got another spot up here. Hopefully you can see that. I can't see what I'm filming, but we'll be able to close all that stuff in, and it should look pretty okay is what I'm going for. I'm not going for great, but pretty okay would be nice. So there's a little bit of work. We'll come back to you guys, and I really want to cut this piece out because it's kind of, I don't want to say it's technical because it's really not, but that'll be a fun piece to cut out with the new metal cutter tool thing, technical term. So we'll be back shortly, and we'll get some more welding on. All right, guys, took a little time on here. We are using flux, so they're a little dirty, but we're gonna wire wheel them, clean them up. We'll paint the whole thing and then seam seal it. So got everything kind of in where we wanted. Have some small burn throughs, and yeah, it's ugly. But once we clean it up and paint it and everything, it'll look fine. It's very solid. That's really all I care about. Same with back there. So everything is solid, so we got to make the cover piece there, I was having some trouble with blowouts, as you can see, but as I played with the welder settings a little bit, I got my temp down a little bit, my wire feed slowed down, and it seems to be doing a little bit better. So pretty happy with how it turned out. Again, not going for perfection, so if you guys are fabricators out there, feel free to laugh at me. I don't give a shit, but it looks better. So I will show you guys a little more cutting and welding upcoming here as we start cutting that out, but I wanted to get those pieces in, get everything dialed in, and keep some of my frustrations off camera so we can actually make some progress. So all in all, I'm happy. Once it gets painted, I think it'll blend in fairly nicely, and we're not going to see it anyways, so all is good. Still got a little over here that I want to do. I want to bring that up a little bit, but I think it's pretty solid as is. So all in all, looking pretty good. I'll be back with you guys when I'm ready to do some more welding and cutting and do it with you. So use our metal cutter, got our piece here, and that's going to be the one that's going to go right here. So should be able to tell kind of where we need to create our bend there to match the firewall, and we can bend that. Not going to tack it in again until I get the rockers done, but you see how that works at least. That'll be a nice little piece of metal there that wasn't there before. No more rust in that spot. Not that you'll be able to see at least. So I did use some rust reformer on this stuff and clean that up a little bit. You can see my blow through spots. Those are just going to get filled in by some seam sealer so that I don't have moisture issues, and all should be good. So it's not perfect, but it's going to look a lot better when it's done, and that's what I'm going for. So that's that. We'll get that bent up, and we really need to start working on the rockers so that we can make some progress. Alright guys, on the ground here, still working. I got some updates for you that you've seen on just kind of the GoPro and stuff, but I got these patch panels made. I was just hammering, I was just making the contour kind of match there. So we're going to put this patch panel in, and I'll come back and I'll use some Bondo and kind of smooth the edges, but then we're going to have a metal piece that comes down like this and butts up to that. So that metal piece that comes down like that is going to be what this new piece that I'll show you guys butts into. And then also the brace for the seat. So I got that taken care of. I made the one for down there as well. Oh, let me get up here. So here's the one for down there too. Just have a little groove in it that I've been using the dead blow and the edge of my stand on. Look over here. This whole thing is a little twisted, but as we get it in there, it'll fix itself. So same thing. Got a groove there. Mostly even, but fix it up once we get it in there. So that'll take care of the underbody of the car, which I'm mostly concerned about. I do need to get in there and clean it up a bit and spray it with some rust converter. But moving on to the inside of the car, I don't recall what I showed you guys last. It has been a couple days real time, but we got the seat plate here. I'm going to take that out and paint the bottom side of it. That's going to go in after we put the rocker pieces in. And like I was saying, once we get those rocker pieces in, we can make this vertical piece here. So once those go in, I'm going to come back. I'm going to seam seal this stuff up from the top, just because I don't want moisture to get in it. And then I'm going to do it from the bottom as well. Everything that I'm doing here is going to get seam sealed top and bottom, because I don't want moisture getting in here and making things bad again. Not that the car gets driven in the winter or rain or anything, but better safe than sorry. So that's what I'm doing there. Once I have that built out, this will go here-ish, so that'll get tacked in. This guy is for here-ish, so we'll have that. That'll get tacked in. Same thing up there. I got to cut some more of the floor out up there and recreate that rocker piece. So I'll get to that. This is more concerning to me and a little more tedious, so there's that. I'm going to have to come in and cut out with the angle grinder some up there. And then I'm on the fence back here. I'm overlapping, so I don't really need to clean it up back here. But there is a chunk that is a little rusty, and I don't want that to promote rust in the future, so I might cut that out too and just seal it and stuff with the rust reformer. So that stuff seems to work pretty good if you take your time and prep the surface before you spray it. So that'll end up going in a lot of these areas where you see some of that surface rust, and then ultimately it'll be POR'd. So there's some progress. I'm filming this video until Friday. It is Tuesday, so hopefully we can make some progress, get those tacked up in there, make them look decent. And my goal for the video is to get that rocker kind of closed in, but we'll see how far I get. Also still got to go in and cut out the rot up in there, create patch panels there. That one is already cut out, so just got to create a panel for that. Shouldn't be too hard. So progress. So I'm just going to keep going and update you guys as I go. Well guys, a little more progress. Some ugly welds on the rockers, but I can show you guys kind of what I'm aiming for. Got those put in place, at least tacked in place. We're going to use some I'll probably use Bondo or like some fiberglass to kind of build those out, smooth them out. I'm planning to undercoat them, just the bottom side, so I don't want to be able to see any like undercoating from here. I don't want to see any of the rocker stuff from here. I just want them to be kind of tucked up and nice and sealed up. So I will probably undercoat them, but I'm going to coat them first so that the rubberized undercoating is not like holding in any moisture and rots them out or anything like that. Let's see if I can get my flash on here. So coming in here, I did wire wheel just a little bit, but we can see in there now we have solid metal in there. Same thing in here. And I did spray everything black in there. I used some of this rust reformer, and hopefully you guys can see up in there. But I got some sprayed in there. I got these little nozzles. You put them on top, and they're a 360-degree nozzle. Well, you can see that, but so they're good for shoving up in there and getting everything coated. So I use that rust reformer on it. I'm going to do it again once we get everything kind of together here, but you can see I don't know if you can actually see in there, maybe a little bit, but had some coming out, but that's fine, it gets covered up. So The next steps, I have to solidify the rockers a little bit, but the next steps are I'm going to make a piece that goes straight down in here. That's going to butt up right to this guy. So we should be able to re-secure that. I need to make a mount for the seatbelt bolt as well. So I need to get a nut, bolt, I'll weld the nut on the backside, and it'll pretty much function like stock factory. So I need to get a piece that we weld in here first, and then I'll come back through and put the piece over it. So we'll be doing that, and I'll close that in, close this guy in as well, and get the big floor piece there, and we'll be sitting pretty. So I will show you guys a little bit more welding once I have some cleaner metal to weld on. I'm not a great welder on rusty metal. I don't know if anyone really is, but it's been a bit of a struggle. So I want to get some clean metal here. We'll do some welding, and hopefully we have that boxed in by the end of this video. But today is Thursday, so we're cutting it close. We'll see. So guys, you didn't get to see my junk welds in this video, but I did get all the pieces cut out here, and just kind of show you guys where we're at. This is the floor piece for down here. Turn the light on so you can see. What else did I do that you guys haven't seen yet? I did get I think you guys have seen this already, but those metal pieces down in there are tacked in. Same with down in there. So what I just cut, I believe, is I got this piece. This guy is going to need a little clearancing yet, but it's just going to drop right in there. I can weld that up, and then we'll weld it up. I'm questioning if that's even the right piece, but we'll weld that up in there, and then we have some angle iron that we're going to use to secure that onto it as well. And then we'll run a full bead on the bottom and secure that just kind of like it was from the factory, kind of like that. So we'll do that. We also have this guy, which I believe is going to slide in here somewhere, kind of like that. So might have a little clearancing left to do on that guy as well, but yeah. So those will go in there. Then we can get the floor piece here, and then we can get the side piece in here. I also have to make some seatbelt provisions. So I got this guy right here, and what we're going to do is going to drill it and weld a nut on the other side, and then we'll drill that out so we can mount it just like anything else in here. And then I'm going to drill this piece when it goes on the side and over it. I'm going to drill it even larger so that we can tack it in and make those two pieces one. So I might do some pocket welds as well on the sides just to strengthen where the seatbelt kind of plugs in there. So that's the plan for that. These are for the other side. So in the next video we'll get those all there. I do have some hardware. I got the wrong bolts for the seatbelts. So I think these are 7/16 by 24 maybe. I don't remember. But you got to get the other thread pitch, so we'll do that. But I made a little progress here, guys. I have all my pieces cut out, some tacked in, which I'm happy about. Just gonna come back and get all that other stuff tacked in. So we'll have the GoPro with us next time. We'll get welding videos and get everything put into place, and I think we'll be in a much better spot so that we can order some carpet and at least set that in there and see how it looks. And we got to start on those guys. So that's all we got for this time, guys. I want to thank you guys for watching. Sorry we didn't make more progress in such a long video, but we are making progress nonetheless. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys in that next video.